depending on your goals, I think one of the mistakes that I made, that probably made business much harder than what it needs to be, is that I was chasing relentlessly after a dollar figure that was not meaningful, and it was just there. My goals started out as, like most of you, is to make $1 million. To make $1 million. Okay, so I was chasing after that number, but then but now I realize, like, you know what? When I first started out in business, rather than trying to chase $1 million, which there's a lot of things you have to put in place to be able to make that kind of income, okay? And rather than chasing that, if I had just chased after 100,000, okay, and with 100,000 at that time, I didn't have a whole lot. We didn't have kids yet. When I first started in real estate investing, I wasn't even married yet, so I didn't have a whole lot of expenses, and so making $100,000 at that time would have been phenomenal. And if that was my goal, then all I would have done was like 4 to 5 houses. I mean, my first rehab deal, I made like well over $55,000 on one deal. So if I had a goal to make $100,000 a year, I only needed to do but two of those type of deals. Or even if the deals were much less, even at $20,000, all I need to do is go after 5 deals or 4 deals, once a quarter, instead of what I was trying to do, where I was rehabbing like 3 houses a month, plus wholesaling 9 houses a month on top of that, plus processing through 15 short sale deals. I mean, I was chasing after this number, and in order for me to meet that number, I had to put in the staff to achieve that. But then now, looking back now, that's a huge mistake, because what that does is that it robs you from other things. And as you learn, you see that goal was so meaningless to me. Like, so what if I make $1 million a year? I'm still not having any time with my family. I'm still not spending time with Tyler, and so that's when to think back now, I would much rather for you guys to figure out, okay, what is my, like if you add up all of your expenses and all your bills and your mortgage and your cars, you figure out what that amount is per month, okay? And for most of you, it's probably only around $3,000 to $5,000 a month. For most of you, okay? And so with that, if you just wholesale, like if you do straight wholesaling, you're looking at between $10,000 to $15,000 per wholesale deal. If you do flex option, just straight flex option, it's around $3,000 to $5,000 per deal. Okay, and so if you look at that, and your expenses are, expenses are only $3,000 to $5,000. That means you don't need to do but a couple of those deals a month, a couple of flex option deals a month, to double your expenses and have that money to do whatever else you want. And then now your mind will be so much more clear. Now you have so much more time for yourself, your family. You get to enjoy life so much more. And then once you achieve that, then you can set a higher goal, and then set a higher goal. But don't start out with some vague $1 million if it doesn't mean anything. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So and by default, as long as you set goals, you're gonna achieve it. okay, and you're going to exceed it, and then you set new goals. When you keep on doing that, by default, you're going to make your $1 million, and you're going to go way exceed your $1 million. And so, you know, and so keep that in mind, okay? And I think we might I don't know if we're going through an exercise like that, but yeah, I mean, you know, when you set your goals, keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, that freedom allows me to do all kinds of stuff. You know, I shared with you earlier how I was able to hang out down the beach and watch the sunset up in the mountain, the waterfall. I mean, we're to do all of that in a very short amount of time. We have a lot of fun, and actually, it's Austin and me, you know, playing with starfish. This is a baby octopus in my hand. How cool is that? Where can you go to catch a baby octopus in your hand? And this happens in the Philippines, and this is why it's one of my favorite countries right now until I visit Indonesia and see how that's like. So, and and that's Thailand, Austin flipping houses in the Philippines, right? And those are pesos. We have lots of fun.